They didn't want to believe it. They think that, well, I'll get tired of this, or I'll get bored, or I'll have some pressure. But there's no pressure. There's no pressure at all. We're going to have a complete victory. We've already, in theory, had a complete victory from the military standpoint.
All right, President Trump says the United States will have total and complete victory in Iran, but a heavily circulated article in The Atlantic says the United States has been checkmated in Iran and cannot reverse or control the consequences. I'm going to bring in our Lexington Institute, their vice president there, Rebecca Grant. Rebecca, so Robert Kagan wrote this article in The Atlantic saying, among other things, that the U.S. has suffered a total defeat and that Iran has, that there's no precedents rather in U.S. history, and it can neither be prepared nor ignore what's happened there. Just your thoughts on sort of, they got a lot of comments from a lot of people. Where are we with respect to this conflict in terms of winning and losing?
Well, with all due scholarly respect, that article was flat wrong. America has already won in the #1 objective, and that was taking away Iran's power projection capabilities. That happened in the air campaign phase of Operation Epic Fury. Now we've shifted to sea power, economic power, and the blockade. And the blockade of Iran's ports is working in putting the pressure on Iran. And Charles, I got to tell you, every fighter pilot in Central Command, Navy, Marine, Air Force, is ready and eager to use their guns on an Iranian ship if necessary. They live for that kind of thing. So the U.S. Navy is firmly in control, and I think President Trump still thinks he has some options to play.
Well, among those options, does it lead to eventual boots on the ground?
Not necessarily. And what I took away from the president's comments today were two things. One, the negotiations are actually still very active. He said that he did think he was talking to the right individuals. But secondly, he said, 1% chance left in the ceasefire here. And that means that, again, he has options briefed and ready to go to hit other Iranian military targets using air power and missile strikes if necessary.
You mentioned President Trump talking to the right partners. In that article, it says people talk of a split between hardliners and moderates in Tehran, but even moderates must understand that Iran cannot afford to let the Strait go. In other words, this is sort of falling into their lap. They control it. They can make money from it. They can punish friends. They can, punish foes and reward friends. How do we regain control of the Strait so that's off the table?
Yeah, and I see your point there, Charles, but I think long term, Iran can't afford to have their ports blockaded. And so that strait is going to have to go back to freedom of navigation. It will take time because the international shippers want to see no conflict and no gunfire going on. But it's the U.S. Joint Force and the U.S. Navy that has the ability to hold out there. I agree, the Strait of Hormuz is the geopolitical prize, but that is far more in the control of the U.S. Navy than of Iran at this point.
So because of the situation in Iran, and certainly the way it's been described in the media, which out of the gate was totally against President Trump, nothing new there, the narrative is that he goes into this meeting with President Xi with the weaker hand. What do you expect from this week's summit?
And again, I just see it as the reverse of that narrative. Compared to a year ago, President Trump has really strengthened his hand vis-a-vis China with the Venezuela operation, frankly, with Operation Epic Fury. He's choked off a lot of China's supply of oil, and he's been doing a lot of work to get to this a type of managed trade agreement. I'm expecting to see a big order for Boeing, a big order for soybeans, and quite a lot of interesting discussion. I do want him to stay far away from any fake agreements with China on AI, however.
Yeah, no doubt about that. By the way, the American media just fawns over China, and everything that I look at suggests that they're in a lot of trouble, from their debt to their fertility crisis to a whole lot of issues there, even with the purging of their military. How weak is President Xi? I think he's got a far weaker hand.
He's got problems. The purge of the military was very significant and showed he did not have confidence in his military. The dwindling oil supplies will hit chemicals and plastics at some point as well. And you know what we've also seen is that the U.S. Navy is able to exert control over key shipping lanes, given that China imports 75% of its oil consumption and 90% of that comes by sea. They have got to be worried. Yes, they're building up nuclear weapons. Yes, they're harassing Taiwan, building up in the South China Seas. But it is the U.S. military that has the upper hand. And Trump's going to go in there with a gritty desire to get trade on the right basis and start whittling away on that trade imbalance.
You know, the irony is with their massive oil that they've been storing, the fact that they've drawn down so little of it, to me, suggests that they don't need it because their economy is not working out too well. Rebecca Grant, always great talking to you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.